Cody said Rick free, and Rick just had to go confront Alexis now. I said he could have made it to the police station by now. But yeah, I said he could have made it to the police station. Alexa and Ava were waiting on the money to get transferred, but so far it hasn't. Valentine told Charlotte not to trust Britt, so he knows more about the whole Faison situation. I wonder if he actually gonna tell Brendan everything. Vaughn was trying to get answers out of Britt, but she wouldn't tell him anything. Lucas ends up talking to Marco, telling him how he knows that he never lied to him. And I said, shoot, he lying now. I said, he lying now. Tracy wanted Marco to help with Ronnie. And the last thing is that Brooklyn wanted to introduce people to Ronnie. Hey, y'all, and welcome back to another review of Life of Chesses for General Hospital, October 15, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below, what y'all think that y'all like the episode. So, Lulu and Valentine. So, the episode started with them. Valentine was saying, basically, I don't want to see you. Valentine basically said he didn't want to see Lulu, he wanted to see Charlotte. So, she was like, they just need to get a few things straight first. So, they started going back and forth about Charlotte and what's best for her and all this other stuff. And he ended up telling her, you know, that I could have been long gone with her, right? You know I could have been long gone with her, right? I chose to let myself get caught. And she was like, what? You let yourself get caught or whatever? And she was like, she appreciated him allowing Charlotte to be with her and telling him all about how she doing better and all this other stuff. So she finally let Charlotte in, and Charlotte ends up hugging him, and they were just talking, and he was telling her that he gonna be out one day, he's gonna be out or whatever, and basically it sounded like he gonna get her back to me. It sounded like he gonna get her back to me. But yeah, they was talking about that, and first she was saying, you know, she not doing good because, you know, he's there and she's there or whatever, but he was just reassuring her that everything's gonna be okay and they gonna be reunited. After Charlotte left, that's when Brendan came in to my, so he wanted to know everything that Valentine knows about the whole Faison project or whatever, and he was like, something else that he needs. And I said, now what he need now? I said, because I want to know what's going on, too, because I'm so confused. There's so many theories out there. Excuse me. It's so many different theories out there. Some people saying Faison's still alive and he's the one in Nathan's body. That's not Nathan, that's Faison. Somebody said his brain was in a jar or something like that, so it can't be him. Somebody said that's Peter. I've been seeing so many different things. I don't know. Because then it seemed like Britt knew more than what she obviously know more than what she's saying. But I don't know if she actually knew that Nathan was alive or whatever. Who else we got? Vaughn and Britt, they were just talking. He was trying to get information out of her, but she didn't tell them deal with freaking squat. Let's see. What else? She didn't tell him nothing, and he basically saying the walls. He basically said the walls are closing in. And y'all know, I think on tomorrow's episode, Jason's supposed to be telling that Jocelyn a WSB agent. So that means that Britt finna get arrested, right? Cause ain't that what Brendan said? But yeah, allegedly they find out tomorrow. Carly finds out tomorrow that Jocelyn is a WSB agent. I want to know what's going to lead him to tell her the truth. What's going to happen? What else? Tracy ends up meeting up with Marco. She wants him to help throw Ronnie out. And he basically told her it's going to take a long time, years even. And he said that basically she got to get other people to see who Ronnie really is. And maybe then, you know, that'll speed up the whole process. I seen some people saying they don't think that Ronnie is crooked. Somebody said they think that somebody wrote on Monica's behalf and stuff like that. That they said that, excuse me, that they set all of this in motion. I think the wheel of fake too. I might be wrong. That's all I know for sure. I don't know if Ronnie in on it. I just know I feel like the wheel is fake. That's why they keep having Tracy investigating it. Nobody believe her. Nobody listening to her. Everybody think that she's overreacting. You got Brooklyn over here trying to plan tea parties and stuff. I'm like, look, they just let anybody in. They could just be like they a Quartermain, or they connected to somebody that's connected to a Quartermain. They just be like, here, come on in or whatever. But I know it's not much they could do if the wheel has her name in it or whatever. But yeah, what else? Let's see. I said Tracy want Marco help throwing Ronnie out. Brooklyn ends up to make Ronnie a part of the family because she want to make sure that Ronnie don't try to sell the house or anything like that, that the house stays in the family. So she kind of got a point. Molly ends up telling her that she's worried something has happened to Rick, so she ends up getting his help. He ends up pinpointing Rick's location, or the phone's location, and she was like, no, it can't be or whatever. And she finally came to the house or whatever, and that's when she walked in. I said, yo, all y'all going to jail. And Cody walked out, or was about to walk out just in time. I said, you getting better? I said, getting better, Cody, because everybody offering him money and everything. I said, Rick do know that he going to jail too, right? I guess he don't care. And like, look, I said, all three. Wait, how many is it? 4. All 4 of y'all going to jail. I don't know why you so excited. I said, yeah, they just gonna have more charges than you. I said, everybody going to jail. Talking about, so you stole from a child. You stole from a child. You stole from a baby or whatever. You did too. You going to jail just like all y'all. Might as well get y'all orange jumpsuits unless Molly not gonna tell. Unless the only way I see this, going through is if she don't say nothing. But how she was snitching on Michael the other day, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, what else? Let's see. We already talked about Brooklyn. Molly got Dante help. Alexis and Ava was waiting on the money to transfer, but so far it hasn't. So they were saying how they may have to wait till midnight. And then they was asking Cody, somebody, just give us 1 hour or whatever. Look, I thought for a second they was gonna hit Cody too. I was like, Cody, you better get out of there for you becoming a prisoner too. Before you become a prisoner too. I was like, Cody, get out of there. Then Molly was about to come too. But yeah, the money still ain't transferred. But regardless, I said all y'all will be in trouble. It just depends on what Molly says. It depends on what she say. But yeah, I'd be upset. She's supposed to be hugging Rick on tomorrow's episode, asking him where he been. I wonder what he's gonna say. But yeah, let's see. Cody ends up finding Rick. He went down there. I think first he took the thing out of his mouth or whatever. And he was like, "Are you okay?" And Rick told my son, "Do I look like I'm okay?" I said, "Lock him back up." I said, "Keep him down there." I said, "Leave." But then he would just been a part of then he would have just excuse me. Then he would have just been arrested too if they get arrested, because I don't know if they're gonna get arrested or not. But yeah, so he eventually tells them what happened. He was like, "I don't know what you and Alexis into or whatever." He was like, "No, they been held to me captive or whatever." It was Ava just telling who it was. So he let him out or whatever. He was trying to take him to the hospital. He's my son. There's somewhere else I need to go. I don't think he's finna pop up at the police station so he can press charges and tell what they did. He go up in the house. Did you not learn the last time? The only thing that saved you was Cody being there. The only thing that saved you was Cody being there. He don't went up there to confront Alexis now. I said, now this what got you last time. You had the doggone knife to Alexis' neck or whatever, and they got you. Ava hit you again. You gonna go back? I said, why would you go back, Rick? Somebody said, how they gonna pay? He gonna make them pay, and just telling Cody everything. Cody was like, what's going on? So they all telling their side of the story, how Christina cut the brakes and she was trying to get Ava talking about something that's long and that's in the past or whatever. Just saying how it's in the past, and Rick giving his side, and they telling Cody, just give us 1 hour. Ava to myself, she gonna pay him. Then Rick starts saying, if you do want money or whatever, I can help you with that, and it'll be legitimate, and all this other stuff. They just going back and forth. Cody was like, all y'all crazy, and he tried to leave. That's when Molly came. I said, ooh, you made a good choice. I said, you made a good choice. He's like, I'm getting my dog, and I'm getting out of here. I said, right, you better get out of there. Now, Christina and Alexis may not have did nothing to Cody, but I can see Ava doing something to him for sure. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Ronnie ends up, she went to Bobby's or whatever. She was just talking to Gio, asking why he moved out. So he started explaining things, and she was like, they got that in common, that they both just became a part of the family and all this other stuff. And she ends up telling him how, now that it's her house, he could come back if he wants to. I said, it didn't take a long, did it? And then Dante came in, and Gio just be looking like he's so irritated. And I said, Dante, now, aside from what he did with the whole Rocco situation, I said, he didn't know nothing about none of this stuff. But you can't tell nobody when to get over their anger, though. But yeah, so he came in, he was like, I just came here for a cup of coffee. He didn't say nothing at first. He ends up pouring the coffee, and then he was like, it's on the house. So I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, obviously it'll be a good thing, but at the same time, you never know, because every time they share a little moment, he still be angry. He still be mad. But yeah, I think that's all that happened with them. Who else? Am I forgetting somebody? Let's see. We already talked about Lulu and Valentine. Britt and Vaughn, he was trying to get information out of her. He couldn't get no information out of her. So that's when Lucas came saying he didn't, because Brad was talking to him about Brad and asking what he did to Brad and stuff like that. And he was just explaining himself. He was like, I didn't come over here to talk to you. I came to talk to Vaughn. I said, I was about to confront him about Jocelyn. So he ends up telling him that he broke Jocelyn's heart, and if he do it again or something like that, he going to have to answer to him. And I said, you worry about the wrong thing. Your boyfriend over there setting your, what did he do? He told Drew about the $1 million, didn't he? And it was something else he did. I know he was trying to go after Sonny. It was a bunch of stuff he was trying to do. I think, did he use the information? Look, I don't forget myself. What did he do? Did he use the information Lucas gave him or something? I can't remember. I can't remember what he did. I just know he lied, though. I know that much. I can't remember, y'all. I know he told you about the $1 million, but it was something specific. I can't remember, y'all. It's been so long. They finally brought Marco and Sidwell back. Now I don't even remember what happened. Let me see what else. Let's see. Yeah, he was just confronting him. He ends up leaving. Britt came over to tell Marco about what Lucas did and how he'll never measure up to his standards and stuff like that. So after he left, Lucas was like, "You don't have to worry about anything," she said, "because I know you would never lie to me." And he just looking all guilty and stuff. He's just looking all guilty. Hold on. I already said how Tracy wanted Marco to help keep Ronnie out, and he told her what to do. So we'll see how that plays out. Brooklyn ends up inviting Ronnie to have a tea party and stuff. She was like, no, she don't think so. So then she finally agreed, and Tracy walked in. They told her about it, and she was like, she coming to the tea party too. So I'm assuming that's when she gonna get people to see who this lady truly is. But I said, I don't understand how she gonna prove who this lady is if she haven't seen that side of her. Now, it'd be different if she actually seen that side of her, but at the same time, actors eventually get tired of acting, so we'll see. Because a lot of people saying they don't think that anything is corrupt about her. They don't think she's a bad person. Some people say they like her. I said, give me time, I'll let you know. I like her and Tracy back and forth and stuff, but I don't know yet. We gotta actually see her consistently before we decide if we like this lady or not. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Lucas, Marco, Tracy, we already talked about that. Ronnie and Gio, we talked about that. Brooklyn and Chase, we just talking about Ronnie. Molly and Dante, we talked about that. Rick, Alexis, Ava, Charlotte. Charlotte told Brandon that if her daddy belonged there, then so do he. So I'm assuming that eventually Brandon gonna get what's coming to him. We already talked about Lucas and Rick. I think we pretty much covered everything. Let me make sure. Lucas confronts Vaughn about Joss. Brooklyn invites Ronnie to the tea party. Let's see. Lucas said he knows Marco would never lie. I already said Ronnie accepted the invitation, but it's something I didn't see. Something I didn't say. Valentine ends up telling Charlotte to make sure Rocco knows not to trust Rick. And I said, why though? What she did now? And what they got to do with them? What they got to do with Valentine? Yeah, he showed it. He was like, you can't trust Britt. Make sure Rocco knows not to trust her either. So I'm like, okay, like, can you not trust Britt? What is Britt up to? I was like, well, since Jason snitching on tomorrow's episode, I'm assuming she about to go to jail either way it go. Now I think she'll get out because they'll find some type of way. But yeah, he's supposed to be telling on tomorrow's episode. But that's it, y'all. That's all that happened. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time,